A Dutch reunion is on the cards. Erik ten Hag and Matthijs de Ligt. Could it happen? Manchester United has reportedly shown interest in the Bayern Munich centre-back as they look to find replacements for the departed Rafael Varane and most likely the departing Harry Maguire. My name is Webb. This is the United Road Sport. It's Transfer Talk. Like, share, and subscribe. We are powered by Uplift Causes. Visit that website www.upliftcauses.co.org, and we should be able to show you what exactly is being done in terms of mental health. Now, let's get proper into the Erik ten Hag talk. We do know that the contract talks are going on with Man United and the boss, and we do know they will yield results. I think I've got no doubt about what will happen between the two parties, but the doubts are several of those when it comes to which centre backs Manchester United is going to sign to bring in and try to boost this back line that has been, I think, in shambles, for lack of a better word. Now, Erik ten Hag, a report suggests that he's interested in being reunited with a centre back that he achieved decent success with at Ajax back then when he was boss at Ajax between 2017 and 2022. Of course, Matthijs de Ligt was there from 2016 to 2019 before he crossed over to Juventus and after went on to join Bayern Munich for about 68 million euros. Now, Manchester United are reportedly interested in the 24-year-old Dutchman to bring him in as one of the two centre backs that most likely Manchester United will sign. These are reports coming through. Sky Sports did report this. Of course, they're not the most credible when it comes to transfer talk. But guys, right now it's the eve of the summer transfer window, and certainly any source, any speculation has got to be spoken about. Matthijs de Ligt, I feel for me, at some point when he was at Ajax, he was, I think, among the best centre backs in global football, and he went to Juventus, played well. That's why Bayern came for him. Right now, he's valued at a bit less than the 68 million euros he was bought for by Bayern from Juventus. I don't rate him high. I don't think he's still up. I think in terms of his levels, he has gone down a bit in the past years. But he's still, I think, a player we can get for about 40 million pounds or thereabout. So I still think he's decent. He's 24. You can't write him off. He's still in the age bracket that Ineos feel is fit for a player to come at Man United at least in their time. But the thing is, people have been beginning to compare him and Todibo, saying, is it de Ligt or Todibo? Who do we go for? I think for me, it can't be a comparison. I think if we are going to go for a centre back, one centre back between the two, it has got to be Todibo. Whereas de Ligt is a player who played with Erik ten Hag before he, they say better the devil you know than the angel you don't. I think for me right now, Todibo is ahead of him. He's cheaper, he's more affordable for Manchester United now. But the good thing about Todibo is he can play both right back and centre back. I think the lead two can play as a holding midfielder when called upon to. I believe he can also play as a number six, but can give us sort of a John Stones, kind of a style of a personality or profile of a player. But I think in terms of what we want now, I think for me Todibo would make sense for Manchester United. He's more affordable, but also we're not going to bring all players that Erik ten Hag worked with before and bring them back at Manchester United. I think we do need to create a United with a new identity, really, a different identity. But de Ligt is being spoken about as one of those players Man United is looking at. I still think whether he will come, I still think it's a bit difficult because even Bayern with Vincent Company in now as the boss, you think are they going to let go of some of their key players as they are rebuilding the team? De Ligt is a young player. He's one of those young ones you want to keep around and build the team around. I don't think that would happen, and I also don't think Man United would pay the money that Bayern would value the player at. So I think for me, yeah, it's a good link. It's possible, but I don't really want to dig a lot into it. But that is where we are. Now, still talking Manchester United and the transfer talk and which players we are being linked with. Well, as we speak right now, we certainly know that always Manchester United players are going to be trending for right and wrong reasons. Now, we are still seeing a lot of reports coming through trying to go behind what happened behind the scenes with Erik ten Hag and him eventually being confirmed that he's staying at Manchester United. But I will not dwell on that. The transfer the transfer talk that we might want to focus on now might be with Mason Greenwood because as it is, it's extremely likely that Mason Greenwood will join Juventus, because as it looks right now, Juventus are still in advanced talks with Manchester United. In fact, we expect a bid in the first week of the window. I mean, from tomorrow to the remaining part of the next 7 days. I think we should expect an official bid from Juventus. They are trying to move fast to be the ones who get this wand of a player. I love the fact that at least a big team, a big club out there has seen value in this young boy. And for me, Juventus is a big club, and they're also rebuilding. They've let go of Massimiliano Allegri. They have brought in a new boss. So for me, I think without a shadow of a doubt, I believe it is a new time. It's a good, it will be a good move for Mason Greenwood, because it's a big club, and he can probably see more success there than he would ever see at Manchester United. So Juventus, it is believed, are willing to step up on their 25 million pounds that they were trying to bring in for Mason Greenwood. United value him at 42 million pounds. I still think it's way too low, but if that's what they think is enough, I mean, they've got to do what they have to do. Now, the meeting between Manchester United and Michael Olise has been booked. And when the transfer window opens, it's one of those first meetings we should be expecting in terms of talking about players we want to bring in. And as we speak now, of course, Olise is trending. It is Chelsea and Man United leading the rest to sign him. Now, the meetings have been booked for the two parties, and Ben Jacobs has just dropped a report about Michael Olise, saying that the speed at which clubs are moving on Michael Olise is partly down to the player, who is in France's provisional Olympic squad, hoping to decide in the coming days or weeks on his future. Olise wants to carefully assess all suitors before um, deciding which move is right. Likely to be quite a structured process, with all clubs coming forward to Palace aware of Olise's preference of clarity in June or early July. Chelsea don't feel at disadvantage because they don't have the UEFA Champions League. Manchester United are expected to also approach Palace. Olise's release clause is in the region of 60 million pounds, and it is complicated. This is according to Ben Jacobs. This is a credible source when it comes to transfer talk. Now, I spoke about Olise. I think I told you this before, that Chelsea and Man U are leading the rest. In fact, Fabrizio confirmed that the two clubs have already booked meetings with him and his representatives. Now, he does want to listen, scrutinize. He knows the clubs want him, but he will take his time to listen to the club that has got the best project going on, the best project for him, and he will go for that. I'll tell you, if Man United is going to sell Mason Greenwood and bring in someone new, honestly, it has got to be Michael Olise. And probably now, if there is clarity on Juventus taking Mason Greenwood, if they have made up their minds that this is the team they are going to sell Greenwood to, clearly Manchester United can probably go into that meeting with Michael Olise probably in these coming 7 days and have a clear project, because Olise would want to know, am I going to be a first team? Am I going to be a starter? Am I going to be guaranteed a certain number of minutes? Players demand this when they're going to move to clubs, especially players who know how good they are. I remember a 17-year-old Jude Bellingham was telling Man United guys back by then, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer who was the boss, telling them, and this was in front of the Eric Cantonas, who were also at Old Trafford at the time, the Eric Cantonas and all these greats at Man United, and he was telling them, I've got to be guaranteed playing time. That's if I'm signed to you, for you. But so they didn't guarantee him this because they were not sure. He was 17 and all. He chose to go to Borussia Dortmund, and guess what happened? Right now, he's the world's best player. So the thing is, players get to a point where they believe in what they can do, and they want assurances from the club in terms of playing time, because they know how competitive it can get in the big clubs, especially in a league like the English Premier League. So Michael Olise will certainly make it clear to whichever club that is willing to sign him. So Man United is not at an advantage or at a disadvantage, but at least I think we are at par when it comes to the clubs we are competing with for a player like him. And I mean, this is because at least now there is clarity on the manager. Important stuff there happening. I'll tell you, as we go into the summer transfer window starting tomorrow, there is a lot of news for you to be anticipating. Better like, share, and subscribe here to the United Road Sport. Turn off the notification bell, because trust you me, it's going to be a marathon and you don't want to be left behind, do you? My name is Webb. I'll be back with more later on. Subscribe, share, and like. We are powered by Uplift Causes. I'll catch you later.